Okay, so the first command we'll be learning is the ls command, which but first I have here that the landing directory on the first login onto the system is the home directory. Oftentimes, the home directory has the same name as the user's name. So in my case, I have Adekola PopOS. Now, Adekola is my name, and the PopOS is the Linux distribution that I am using, which is based on Ubuntu. So the ls command, basically the ls command lists the content in in a directory. So if I type the ls command, it shows all the content of my home directory. So I have just a bunch of folders here. But is this all of the content in my home directory? Of course not. There are hidden files here. So to see the hidden files, I use something like this, and now this shows me all of the hidden files in my directory. So how do you know hidden files? Basically, in Linux, hidden files are preceded with a dot. So you can see that the difference between the output of the two commands is the fact that I have files with dot preceding them. So in Linux, basically, we have what you say like technicalities of Linux, which is you can write a command with options. So the options are optional while the command itself is required. So I can issue just the ls, or I can combine ls with -a. So what happens if I do ls -l? So now ls -l shows a much long format than the output from just ordinary ls. So the first entry, which is the rwxr, is the file permission, which we'll talk more about later, and the 32 is the hard link. So while more on the hard link later. So the first name is the user, and then the second name is the group. So in my case, I'm both the user and the group. So, but this is usually not the case as we would see when we move to the Alliance system. And then this is the file size, the dates of modification or creation, and then these are the files. So what happens if I do ls -lt? Oh well, in this case now, you can see that it's almost the same output, except for the fact that the files have been sorted based on time of modification. So you can see that this is starting from April 25, whereas this is starting from April 13, like that. So what happens if I do ls -ls? Oh well, now you can see that there's a new entry at the beginning of the command, which is this 444468 4444, and these are called system blocks. So system blocks this is computer science 101, which is basically how information are stored on disk. So you can imagine, say for example, I don't know, in my system case now, it looks, I can't tell, but let's assume that because this would look as though, it's hard to, I don't know, but let's assume that you have a file size. This is file size of 4 MB or 4 gig. I think this is 4. Yeah, this is a 4 gig. So 4 gig, and then suppose so this has a space on disk. Suppose each block takes like 1 GB, or I don't know, maybe 2 GB, whatever. So that would determine how many. So in this case, this file is taking 4 blocks on disk. Anyways, that's just it. It's a fundamental computer science. So what if I do ls minus LRS. Okay, so this is sorting based on size. So you can see the same files, but now it's sorted them based on the file size. So I could perhaps, if I go into one of the folders and I issue the same command, maybe that might show. Okay, so yeah, now I have different file sizes, and you can see it's from small to large. Okay, so like I explained the last time, one of the shortcuts is to clear the screen is Control L. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. I could type Control L, or I could just say clear the screen, and that clears the screen. So I guess the point then becomes, do I have to memorize all of these several options of ls command? Well, no. For every Linux operating system, you can always check the man pages, sort of like the manuals. So if I say man ls, now this gives all of the options that are available for ls. So let's try. So we have ls minus capital A. What does this show? Let's see what's the difference between that and ls minus small a. So these do not include the first dot and the second dot. The results are the same, but it does not include these first two. That's the difference between ls minus a and ls small a. So what is ls auto minus L? So this is more or less the same. Okay, now this has introduced, you could see there's a difference, because if I say ls minus L, the entry is just two names, but now there's a third entry for the author. Again, this is my computer, so the authors are the same. The author is the same person. So what about block size? So what if I do ls block size equals so block size equals scale sizes by size when printing them, e.g. block size in megabytes, so let's say in gigabytes, G. Let's see minus L. So you can see so these are 1 gig, 1 gig, 1 gig, 1 gig, 1 gig. Okay, hold on, let's 1 second. I'm not so sure. You say 1 gig. What if I make it just M? 1M, 1M. Okay. e.g. block size M. See size format below. Okay, I'm not so sure what that is doing. So what about ls minus C with LT, which is modification date. So this is showing with modification date. I'm not sure what the C is doing. Show C time of last modification of file status information with minus L. Show C time, sort by name, otherwise sort by C time, newest first. List entry column. So let's see, what is ls minus C? Okay, I'm not sure. So ls minus D, this is going to list just directories. So the point is that there are several options. There are several options for using ls command. So Yeah, so it might be worth just trying out different things. So you could sort alphabetically, you could sort recursively, you could sort reversely. So yeah, I mean, I think if I say ls minus recursively, yeah, this is insane. That's insane. It's going to have to list all the files in each folder. That would take a lot because that's like all the files on my system. So ls minus r. So look at that. This starts. It reverses the order in which the so from video starts first and like that. So it reverses the orders. So anyways, this is on the ls command, and then we'll move from here.